Kick is a really cool VST made for Sonic Academy, which is really cool for synthesizing your own kicks. A little background story: I used to spend a lot of time trying to find the right kicks for my tracks, but way more time that I needed, and I thought I could. As soon as I started doing this, I find myself being more productive, spending less time finding a kick actually, and more time doing creative things more related to the song. So first we have to understand the default kick, which is the first init patch. You can see that it's really long. It's like 3/4 of a bar. We have a whole bar in here, which is adjusted to the BPM. This is 1 bar, and you can see it's 3/4 of a bar. This might work for another genres, but for progressive house, we need a shorter kick. We need a kick that is around from 150 to 250 milliseconds. It's a good sweet spot. I'm going to use a scope that is going to be double. So 500 milliseconds would do it. And I'm going to use to start the envelope. I'm going to use the envelope to start shortening the kick. I want the kick to be only 1/4 of a bar. So I have all this space for the sub bass and for the other elements of the tracks, and making sure that the kick is not occupying all the space. So now that we have the length that we want, we can draw a 4 to the floor pattern, and we have a kick. This is already sounding pretty good. I'm gonna reduce the volume of the click. I don't want to hear this click right now. This is going to be the top end, and this is going to be the low end of the click. For progressive, I don't like this kind of like aggressive envelope. I will do a more softer envelope. So the kick is softer. I like to do a more rounded tail. You can manipulate this envelope right here. So we might already have a really cool sounding kick. Now we can play around with the pitch. To find different sweet spots and to have it in the key that we want for the track. You can see that we already have a really good sounding kick. I don't do a lot of processing, maybe the default distortion, but nothing too fancy, not a lot of compression. Now that we have the low end of the kick, we need the high end of the kick, which is going to make the kick punch through the mix. We can use the library of kicks that is built in this VST, but we can also use sample libraries. We have to look for the transient. We don't have to, the key here is not to listen to the whole kick, but to listen to the first transient. If we like the first transient, we can use this kick for the click. I'm gonna high pass it so I don't get the mids of the sample, I only get the highs. And you can see that as soon as we start climbing up the volume, we don't have to put a lot of volume into this. It's just a click for punching through the mix. And you can see that we already have a really cool sounding mix that we can use in context, and it pretty much is going to sound good. You can mess around with different pitches and the different things, and it's going to be really cool.